Mass defection of 9 NDP members to the Green Party in New Brunswick is now at the center of a rare but nasty fight on the left side of the political arena. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, as you just saw, is accusing the Green Party of spreading fake news after 5 of the supposed, originally reported, 14 NDP party crossers reaffirmed their support for Singh. So is this the first sign of a green wave overtaking an orange wave as the federal election kicks off? To get to the bottom of all this and to find out how the Greens plan to grow beyond their 2 seats in the House right now, we're joined from Toronto by Green Party leader Elizabeth May. Well, here we go. Welcome to the program. The NDP told me, and you just heard Jagmeet Singh say, that your party lied, that you are spreading false news about 14 people who defected from the NDP in New Brunswick, when it was actually 9. Did you not tell the truth and spread fake news?
We didn't put out any statement at all, Evan, so I'm really astonished by this trumped-up anger that we're seeing from the NDP. I wish we could talk about the things we have in common instead of creating this really rather pointless diversion. I have to say I appreciate the fact that the New Democratic members from New Brunswick, who had felt so let down by their leader, decided to join the Green Party. That was their decision. They organized themselves. They put out a statement. I didn't put out a statement. I found out about it the day before that there would be some New Brunswick New Democrats who were joining the Green Party. There was no statement from the Green Party of Canada claiming anything. So there's been a lot of I think, fairly theatrical and fake high dudgeon coming from the NDP.
Well, they're literally saying you're telling a lie. That you guys tried to claim that 14 came and that you spun the story. And I just talked to a senior source at the NDP, and they said, what are we supposed to do? When they spread fake news, we're going to hit them back.
Could you find any evidence that I said anything about this? I mean, that's the question to the NDP. Why? You know, the problem they have is that Jagmeet Singh let down their members in New Brunswick by never visiting. It's been 2 years he's been leader. In that time, I've been there 3 times. When you're a leader, first rule of leadership is you have to show up.
Do you think that Jagmeet Singh and other party leaders are attacking you in a way I've never seen in all the years that you've been in politics? I've never seen this kind of thing before. Is it because the Greens are rising? They see you more as a threat this time around?
Well, I think that's probably the answer. I mean, it's certainly baffling to me. So I've been attacked for saying something that was wrong, but I didn't say anything at all. So if you found a press release somewhere where I claimed we were welcoming 14 New Democrats from New Brunswick and I twisted their arms to join the Greens, quite the opposite. I think really it's very unfortunate for these individuals that Central Party headquarters from the NDP twisted arms. And actually there was one case where we've actually declined the membership of someone who joined, who was one of the 14 named people who later claimed they hadn't joined the Greens. They actually physically joined the Green Party and made a donation. And after being bullied by party headquarters, they said, no, we didn't do that. So
that's sorry.
Never know.
Can I just say, I asked the NDP about your allegation they were bullied or strong-armed to stay. They said that's absolutely untrue. Now you're saying somebody actually joined the Greens, gave a donation, and now has gone back to the NDP?
And denied they ever were part of any plan to join the Greens.
What
That's
a mess.
correct.
Okay, let me move on from that.
Well, it's small potatoes compared to the issues that really matter to Canadians.
Well, let me get to the election because we're about to head into this thing. In the wake of the ethics commissioner finding that Justin Trudeau broke the law, you said Justin Trudeau ought to resign. This is the SNC-Lavalin affair.
I didn't. I didn't actually say that, Evan. What I said was this was a resignation offense. This is the kind of offense for which resignation is appropriate, but I'm not calling upon him to resign.
Okay,
we had a long,
Okay, but I don't want to mince words. If he's guilty of it and it's a resignation offense, does that rule out working with Justin Trudeau in the future, in your view?
So many hypotheticals about what will happen in this election. I want to work with anyone who's prepared to take the climate emergency seriously. That's the overwhelming issue. If Justin Trudeau could understand that what he did was wrong and apologize, I'd have no trouble working with him.
But he hasn't done that. Now, what about the other thing? You said that you wouldn't prop up a party that doesn't have a serious climate plan. Now, the Liberals, you've said they do have a serious climate plan, but what would be the bare minimum? For example, would you say unless you cancel the Trans Mountain Pipeline, Mr. Trudeau, that's my litmus test. Cancel it, I'll give you my support. If you don't cancel it, I'm out. What's the condition?
Well, that's not a strong enough condition to avoid climate catastrophe. We're talking about not political targets, not scoring points off each other. The Green Party policy is driven by the science. So canceling the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion is obviously required if you're
Okay,
serious
so I just want
about
to be
fighting the climate
okay.
change.
So would
but
that,
not by itself.
Okay, I understand
no, not
there's
by
more,
itself,
but,
not
but
close.
that would be one of the conditions then. If he says, no, I've
No,
always
there's only-
campaigned
there's-
on a carbon tax, the Paris targets, and the pipeline, you would say, I am not giving your support unless you back off of the pipeline?
We can't support any government that does not have as its central core goal that we are going to approach this climate emergency with a seriousness of purpose that the threat requires. It's not about politics, it's about science.
All right, we're heading in. I want to do some rapid fire issues because it's more than just, the Green Party now is more about, more than just about climate issues. Social issues has emerged as a big issue. You've seen Andrew Scheer specifically question around abortion issues and same-sex marriage. Just on the record, what's your personal view and what's your party's view on abortion and choice?
Women must always have the right to a safe, legal abortion. That is my personal view. It always has been, and that is the party's position as well.
You said you will have a balanced budget, and you said you will have a plan. How can you balance a budget without cuts? And if so, can you tell us what things a Green government would cut?
We will cut nothing. We have to rapidly, well, there are some things we cut. We'd eliminate fossil fuel subsidies, obviously. We'd cancel the Trans Mountain Pipeline. That saves $13 billion right off the top. But we've found new sources of revenue. Our budget numbers are currently being reviewed by the Parliamentary Budget Office. We will release our budget, and we will not balance the budget this year. That's not possible. We're looking at about a 5-year period. We have crunched the numbers, and we have enough revenue to deliver on pharmacare, universal pharmacare, to deliver on abolishing tuition and investing heavily in post-secondary education, colleges, universities, trade schools. We can actually deliver on making things more affordable for the average Canadian family, making life much better for our young people who are dealing with crushing student debt, and we can do it within a framework where we say, this is where we find the money, this is how we pay for it.
Last question. You got 2 seats right now in the House. Where should I watch for Green seat pickups? Vancouver Island? You know, let's be reasonable. I'm trying to figure out the math of where the, quote, Green surge actually can happen. What's your projection?
I hope to get my husband elected, John Kidder, Mission Matsqui, Fraser Canyon, heading to Ottawa. Yay. I have to say also, Vancouver Island, we could sweep all 7 seats. We've got seats in the Lower Mainland, but we're showing huge strength in New Brunswick. We're showing a lot of strength in Quebec. I think we've got a real shot at un vague vert, a big green wave to wash
like
over
official
Quebec.
party status, 12 seats. Is that realistic?
I hope to do better than that, but you know, I've always been a woman of high hopes.
Elizabeth May, lots of campaign road ahead, but man, you're making a lot of news already. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Evan.